Hello everyone and welcome to Magic's headquarters. We're excited to bring you the story of Magic's lost legends. At a warehouse deep in the middle of nowhere in Washington State, some long forgotten cases of Legends booster packs printed in 1994 were found. We've opened these Legends cards and we're gonna put them inside of brand new collector booster packs of Dominaria United. Legends was a big deal. It was the first series to use multicolored cards and was released in 15-card packs. How long ago was 1994? Yeah, 28 years ago, but for context, let's see how Magic has grown in the last 3 decades. The Legends expansion came out in 1994, which makes it older than Planeswalkers, Equipment, the Stack, Chandelar, Vintage. It's even older than the first ever Magic tournament.
There's such an awesome connection with Dominaria and sort of like the history of Magic, so it just feels like the perfect place for us to kick off the 30th anniversary because there's just so much like history and lore and like so much nostalgia that's wrapped up in that plane.
And so we thought, like, hey, we found these boxes of the original Legends in a warehouse, and we wanted to get them out into the world for our players to enjoy, and it really just ties right into that theme.
I started playing around the time that Revised was out, and packs of Legends were already legendary. They were scarce, they were hard to come by.
You would hear whispers of cards, like, oh, now there's gold cards in Magic, and you're like, what does that even mean?
This will only be the second Legends booster I have ever opened.
Joining me now is Matt Danner. And Matt, you were actually on the team that found these Legends cards in a warehouse, which is like so many questions. So you knew a warehouse was shutting down and there was some product in it that you had to go get. Is that right?
Yeah, so maybe not that exciting to a non-Magic player to be like, hey, get in the car with your boss and drive 3 hours out into the middle of the desert. But when you know that the place is potentially full of Magic product from the early days of Magic, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm in.
So what did you do when you realized that you had found cases of Legends boosters?
Seeing a single booster pack of a product that's 30 years old is like, that's exciting. You'll see it if you go out to shows. Seeing a sealed box is even more unreal, but seeing cases worth of Magic product from throughout the ages is unreal. It's an experience unlike any other.
I'm nervous. I don't want to handle the cards too hard.
Awesome. Nice, easy open.
It's a sensory experience opening a pack of Magic cards. And there's this like a very distinct, like almost chocolatey smell.
They definitely smell different than new packs.
Well, you start things off by finally learning how banding works on this rule card, which is very exciting.
I have something to say because I love kobolds. I mean, who doesn't? I think any 0 mana spells are just inherently super exciting.
Kobolds are pretty cool.
Yep, that's a 0 mana creature. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it's a kobold. It's trying its best.
Kobolds of Kirkeep, the cutest. One of the cutest cards in all of Magic, like completely undeniable. No Tabernacle though.
Joining me now are Natalie Kreider and Harless Snyder, who work here at Wizards of the Coast. I want you to take us, Natalie, inside the room where the cards were actually opened, just for the kind of nerdy people like me who want to know what the process was actually like to do so.
It was a assembly row of these very passionate wizards who are opening these packs and sifting through these cards. And we are all masked up. We are all wearing gloves to preserve these cards. And it would be a matter of opening these packs, going through these cards, and then handing them to the next person. Everyone just worked so hard to make sure that everything was correct.
Yeah, incredible. Harless, can you take us through from your perspective how this whole process went?
Yeah, for me it was, hey, this is never gonna happen again. Can we make sure that we actually film this incredible experience?
Yeah.
And so I really got to experience it from the perspective of watching everyone as a group open these packs.
I don't think people really understood until there was that moment where you're in the room and you see these packs and it just goes quiet.
What was the impetus for this project?
We knew that this was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we thought, what better place to do this than to kick off Magic's 30th anniversary with Dominaria United?
Yeah, such a cool connection there to go really old with the brand new.
There's still some artists who do kind of art like this, but we don't see as much of the, say, like the watercolor-esque style. And it's always some of my favorites.
I love a lot of the old, the weird art where it's not even necessarily in a real setting, it's just so abstract.
I do love like the old white mana symbols look a lot like eyeballs, and so I feel like whenever it's like double white, it's just a very intense, like, I will cast this spell.
It's a frickin' tabernacle. That's pretty freaking cool. So someone here is gonna be real happy with one of these DMU collector boosters.
Holding the original is really cool, and it makes me feel like I'm 13 again.
It's crazy to see it actually come pack fresh and to hold it in my hand and be like, this is one of the cards that maybe somebody was opening it and it was just a card, but now, how long has it been? Like over 20 years later, that you know that this has stood the test of time and is still played today and is still something that people cherish. Like, that's incredible.
It is the perfect set to take cards from 1994 and actually put them into packs.
And now we get to share them with you.
Happy 30th anniversary, and I can't wait to crack some packs.